Hey everyone! Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into some powerful life lessons, the kind that really stick with you. It's time to uncover those timeless nuggets of wisdom that can change how you think about life, success, and happiness. This isn't just any advice, it's the type that could help reshape your perspective. So sit back, relax, and let's journey through some life-changing insights together. And hey, if you're getting value out of this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Plus, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. 1. Breaking away and finding your own path. At some point in our lives, we all need to break away from the expectations that others put on us. You know, those things that people around us think we should be doing? Sometimes, it can feel like we're living someone else's life, following a script that we never wrote. But the truth is, there comes a moment when you have to divorce yourself from doing the things other people want from you. You've got to embrace your own dreams and live for yourself. Trust me, it's not easy, but that's exactly what makes it worth it. It reminds me of something I've heard countless times: the road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. Think about it. They both require effort, they both involve setbacks, and they both need you to make sacrifices. The only difference? Your mindset. You either stay determined, wake up each morning knowing why you're pushing forward, or you let doubts control you. Wake up determined and go to bed satisfied, no matter how hard it gets. There's a saying that growing up means losing some illusions in order to acquire others. Life is an endless cycle of realizations, and as we grow, we trade some fantasies for new dreams. That's the beauty of life, constantly evolving, always learning. And sometimes, one decision is all it takes. You are always just one decision away from a totally different life. Let that sink in. Whether it's taking that job opportunity, moving to a new city, or finally cutting ties with something toxic, that one choice could be the key to unlocking an entirely new chapter. You know, it's easy to get wrapped up in wanting success. But what if we shifted our focus? What if instead of becoming a man of success, you became a man of value? Success is fleeting, but value is something that stays. When you think about it, some of the saddest words in the world are "it might have been." We don't want to end up with a lifetime of regrets, of opportunities missed because we were too afraid to act. Empathy Q. I get it, finding peace is not easy, especially when everything feels overwhelming. But you cannot find peace by avoiding life. There's a tendency to want to back away when things get hard, to retreat into our comfort zones. But growth, true growth, only happens when we face life head-on. Don't let fear push you around. Instead, let your dreams guide you forward. Be led by the dreams in your heart, and trust that your life is your story to write. Write it well, and edit it often. It's never too late to start fresh. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. So why let those feelings take over your present? Pause for reflection. It's easier said than done, I know. But think about this: 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So, take the leap. Make the mistakes. Just live. The bad news is that time flies. But here's the good news: you're the pilot. You have control over where you steer your life, and that means everything. A lot of people choose doubt as their philosophy, which is like choosing immobility as a way to get around. It's comfortable, it's safe, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Life shrinks or expands based on the courage you have. That courage might just mean letting go of what's familiar, or choosing to keep moving forward even when it scares you. Letting go doesn't always mean you're giving up. Sometimes, it means you've realized that certain people belong to your history, but not your destiny. And that's okay. Courage is like a muscle, you strengthen it by using it. Every time you step outside of your comfort zone, you're making yourself stronger. So think about it: if you give up on your dreams, what's left? If you have a passion, a fire inside you, you owe it to yourself to keep going. Imagine what would happen if we all did the things we are truly capable of. We'd literally astound ourselves. Here's the thing: we aim above the mark to hit the mark. You need to set high goals to push yourself. And you can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it's hard and even if it means letting go of some people along the way. Sometimes, good things fall apart so that better things can come together. Life is funny that way. The world is round, and what may seem like the end could very well be the beginning of something new. And finally, don't wish that life were easier, wish that you were better. Every struggle, every challenge is shaping you. Despite everything you've been through, you're still here, and that counts for something. Change the world by being yourself. Your talent determines what you can do, your motivation determines how much you're willing to do, and your attitude determines how well you do it. And remember, when you're driving through the darkness, you can only see as far as the headlights, but you can make the entire journey that way. Just keep moving forward. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it just means it's not the end yet. If it makes you nervous, that's usually a good sign that you're headed in the right direction. Because growth happens in discomfort. What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't even happened yet. There's so much ahead, so much to look forward to, even if the road right now seems uncertain. If you're finding this helpful, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And share your thoughts in the comments. What's one decision you're thinking about that could lead to a totally different life? I'd love to hear it. 2. Embracing growth and trusting the process. When it comes to personal growth, we all face moments when we have to make tough choices. It's a constant dance between stepping forward into growth or stepping back into safety. We have to remind ourselves that growth, although challenging, is always worth the discomfort. It's the path that makes life meaningful. It's easy to stay where we feel comfortable, but real change happens when we push ourselves, when we take that leap into the unknown. In any given moment, we always have these two options. Growth is often uncomfortable, but it's the discomfort that signals you're moving in the right direction. One of the fastest ways to improve your life is simple: do what you say you're going to do. Sounds easy, right? But so many of us make promises to ourselves that we don't keep. Whether it's getting up early to go for a run or finishing that project you've been putting off, these little commitments add up. When you stay true to your word, not only do you make progress, but you also build trust in yourself. Your future self is watching you through your memories. Every decision you make now will either lead you closer to the person you want to be, or farther away. Think of it this way: your future self will thank you for every step you take now in the direction of your dreams. Here's something I've learned along the way: you may not realize it when it happens, but sometimes, a kick in the teeth can be the best thing in the world for you. Pain teaches us what comfort cannot. Those setbacks, the moments when we feel like giving up, they're the moments that truly shape who we are. The trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you end up risking more. You risk missing out on the life you're meant to live. It's in those challenging times, when things feel uncertain, that we discover our true strength. Hope itself is like a star, it shines brightest in the dark. It's not something that's easy to see when things are going well. It's when we're struggling, facing adversity, that hope becomes a guiding light. There are moments in life when it feels like everything is falling apart, but maybe, just maybe, it's falling into place. You can't turn back the clock and undo the past, but you can decide how to move forward. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that we find our limits by pushing them. We don't grow by staying within the boundaries of what we already know and can do. Every challenge, every hardship, is an opportunity to push just a little further. The past can't be changed, but the future, that's entirely in your power. If you hate starting over, then stop quitting. Persistence is key. Whatever the mind can think and perceive, it can achieve, as long as you don't give up. It's like that old saying: if you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. The only person you need to convince is yourself. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some come to clear your path. Sometimes, when everything seems like it's going wrong, it's actually life redirecting you to something better. The limits of what's possible can only be defined by going beyond them, by stepping into the unknown. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed countless times, but they kept going. Adversity introduces us to ourselves. It's in those moments of struggle that we see our true character, what we're really made of. If the path is beautiful, let us not ask where it leads. Sometimes, the journey itself is the reward, not the destination. We are the result of everything we've thought and done up to this point. If we change our thoughts, we change our lives. The task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you. You are capable of far more than you realize. Time is a funny thing. The time you kill does not die without avenging itself. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. When you feel like you're stretching yourself, when you're pushing beyond what feels safe, that's when you know you're truly alive. There are far better things ahead than any we leave behind. The future is always beginning now. Your greatest self has been waiting your entire life. Don't make it wait any longer. One secret of success in life is to be ready for opportunity when it comes. Opportunities often come disguised as challenges, and it's up to us to recognize them and act. There is meaning in every journey that is unknown to the traveler. We may not always understand why we're going through something, but eventually, it all makes sense. Don't carry your mistakes around with you, place them under your feet and use them as stepping stones to rise above. Mistakes are not failures, they're lessons that help us grow. Once you realize you deserve a bright future, letting go of your dark past becomes the best decision you'll ever make. So many of us carry the weight of our past mistakes, allowing them to hold us back. But the moment you decide that you deserve better, everything changes. Folks are usually about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Happiness is a choice, and it starts with how you view yourself and your life. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. An intelligent person knows there are 3 things to avoid: in youth, lust; in maturity, quarrelsomeness; in old age, greed. It's about understanding what truly matters at each stage of life, and letting go of the things that don't serve us. Challenge and adversity are meant to help us know who we are. It's in those tough moments that we find our strength. Storms don't just test us, they reveal us. Worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it empties today of its strength. Instead of worrying, focus on what you can do today to move forward. Life is a journey, and every challenge we face is an opportunity to grow. The road may not always be easy, but it's always worth it. Remember, you have the power to shape your future, and it all starts with the decisions you make today. Take a deep breath, trust the process, and keep moving forward. Your future self is counting on you to be brave today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you're enjoying this content. And drop a comment below, what's one challenge you faced that ended up being a blessing in disguise? Let's inspire each other. 3. Overcoming fear and taking risks. One of the biggest obstacles we all face is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of judgment. It's a powerful force that can keep us from living the life we truly want. But here's the thing, fear is just a part of the process. It's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and into something new. And while fear might never fully go away, you can learn to move forward despite it. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the decision to act in spite of it. When you think about it, the best moments in life often come after we've taken a risk, when we've dared to do something that scared us. If you give up on your dreams because of fear, what's left? Life without passion, without adventure, can feel empty. Every great achievement starts with the willingness to take a risk, to put yourself out there even when it's uncomfortable. After all, if we don't take those chances, we'll never know what could have been. And the regret of not trying is far worse than the fear of failure. Think of courage as a muscle that needs to be exercised. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you face your fears, even in small ways, you're building that muscle. The truth is, life is too short to let fear make your decisions for you. Imagine the life you could live if you weren't held back by fear. What could you accomplish if you decided to take that leap, to trust in yourself? Remember, the road to success is paved with countless moments of courage, big and small. Sometimes, we get caught up in wanting a guarantee. We want to know that everything will work out before we take a risk. But life doesn't come with guarantees. And that's what makes it beautiful. The uncertainty, the surprises, it's all part of the journey. You have to be willing to take that first step without knowing exactly where it will lead. It's about trusting yourself and believing that you have what it takes to figure things out along the way. There's an old saying, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Growth happens when we step into the unknown, when we stretch ourselves beyond what feels comfortable. It's not about being fearless, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And when you do, you'll often find that the thing you were so afraid of wasn't nearly as scary as you imagined. In fact, it might just lead to something amazing. Another thing to remember is that not every risk will work out the way you want it to, and that's okay. Failure is not the end of the road, it's simply a part of the journey. Every successful person has a story of failure, of setbacks that tested their resolve. But those setbacks didn't define them. What defined them was their ability to get back up and keep going. Failure is a teacher, not a verdict. It's how we learn, how we grow, and how we become better versions of ourselves. The key is to not let the fear of failure paralyze you. Instead, see it as an opportunity to learn. When you're willing to take risks and embrace failure, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You might stumble, you might fall, but you'll also learn things about yourself that you never would have if you'd stayed in your comfort zone. And each time you get back up, you become stronger, more resilient, more capable. Life is all about taking chances, about putting yourself out there, even when it's scary. You can't live your life always playing it safe. Sometimes, you have to jump without knowing what's on the other side. Because that's where the magic happens. When you're willing to take that leap of faith, to trust in yourself, you'll often find that the universe meets you halfway. Doors start to open, opportunities arise, and you discover just how capable you truly are. And let's not forget, you're going to face challenges. You're going to have moments when you question yourself, when you wonder if it's worth it. But remember, the greatest achievements come from those who are willing to persevere, even when things get tough. It's about having the determination to keep moving forward, to keep trying, even when you're faced with obstacles. The road may not always be easy, but it's the challenges that make the journey worthwhile. Here's something else to consider. Sometimes, the biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. Staying where you are, not challenging yourself, not pushing beyond what feels comfortable, that can be the biggest mistake of all. Because life is about growth, about evolving into the best version of yourself. And that can only happen when you're willing to step into the unknown, to face your fears, and to take risks. The truth is, you have everything you need within you. You are capable of so much more than you realize. The limits you see are often self-imposed, they're a result of fear, of doubt, of believing that you're not enough. But let me tell you, you are enough. You have what it takes to face your fears, to take risks, and to create the life you want. You just have to believe in yourself and be willing to take that first step. And don't forget to celebrate your wins along the way, no matter how small they may seem. Every step forward is progress. Every time you face your fears, every time you take a risk, you're moving closer to the person you want to be. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about being willing to show up, to take action, even when it's scary. You are the author of your own story. And the best stories are the ones where the hero faces challenges, takes risks, and comes out stronger on the other side. So be the hero of your own story. Take risks, face your fears, and trust in yourself. You have what it takes to create a life that's full of meaning, full of purpose, and full of joy. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And let me know in the comments, what's one fear you're ready to face? Let's keep pushing ourselves and inspiring each other. 4. Finding purpose and building resilience. Let's talk about purpose. It's one of those things that we all search for at some point in our lives. We wonder what we're here for, what we're meant to do. Finding your purpose isn't always easy, and sometimes, it feels like the more we search for it, the more elusive it becomes. But here's the truth, purpose often comes from action, from doing, from trying new things and seeing what resonates with you. It's not about waiting for some magical sign, it's about getting out there, experiencing life, and finding what lights you up. When you find something that makes you feel alive, something that makes you lose track of time, that's a clue. It's a sign that you're on the right path. And sometimes, your purpose is not just one big thing. It can be a combination of different passions, interests, and pursuits. It can be about making a difference in the lives of others, no matter how small. Purpose is what gives our lives meaning, it's what gets us out of bed in the morning and keeps us going even when things get tough. One of the keys to finding your purpose is to listen to your inner voice. Deep down, you already know what makes you happy, what you're passionate about. But too often, we let the noise of the world drown out that voice. We get caught up in what others expect of us, in what society says we should do, and we lose sight of what we truly want. It's time to tune out that noise and listen to yourself. What do you love? What brings you joy? When you start to answer those questions honestly, you'll start to find your purpose. Another important part of the journey is resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and if we're going to live a life of purpose, we need to be resilient. Resilience is what helps us get back up when we fall. It's what keeps us going when things get tough. And here's the thing, resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build over time. Every time you face a challenge and overcome it, you're building resilience. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment is an opportunity to grow stronger. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned. But resilience is about seeing setbacks as stepping stones, not roadblocks. It's about understanding that failure is not the end, it's just a part of the journey. When you face challenges, remind yourself that you've overcome difficult things before, and you can do it again. You are stronger than you think, and you have the power to keep moving forward, no matter what life throws at you. Here's a truth that's worth remembering, you don't have to have it all figured out. Life is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly where you're going. It's about taking it one step at a time, trusting that you're headed in the right direction. You might not know what your purpose is today, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep exploring, to keep trying new things, and to keep moving forward. Purpose is not something you find overnight, it's something that unfolds over time. And along the way, it's important to remember that your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as being kind, as helping those around you, as making a positive impact in your own small way. Your purpose is unique to you, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It's about what brings you fulfillment, what makes you happy, and what makes you feel like you're making a difference, no matter how small that difference may seem. Another key to finding purpose is to focus on growth. Life is about constant growth, about learning, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. When you focus on growth, you start to see challenges as opportunities to learn, to improve, and to get better. And when you're growing, you're living with purpose. It's about striving to be just a little better today than you were yesterday. Growth is what keeps life interesting, it's what keeps us motivated and excited for what's to come. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. Moments when you feel like you're not making any progress, like you're stuck. But it's in those moments that you need to keep going. Progress is not always visible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Every small step, every small effort adds up over time. And one day, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. So don't give up, even when it feels hard. Trust that every step you take is bringing you closer to where you want to be. One of the best ways to build resilience is to embrace change. Change is a natural part of life, and it's something we all have to deal with. But instead of resisting it, try to see change as an opportunity. Change means growth. It means new possibilities, new opportunities, and new beginnings. When you're open to change, when you're willing to let go of what's familiar and step into the unknown, you're building resilience. You're teaching yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way, and that's a powerful thing. And here's another thing about resilience, it's not just about being tough. It's also about being gentle with yourself. It's about understanding that you're not perfect, that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Resilience is about picking yourself back up, dusting yourself off, and trying again, without being too hard on yourself in the process. It's about being kind to yourself, about recognizing that you're doing the best you can, and that's enough. Finding purpose and building resilience go hand in hand. When you have a sense of purpose, it's easier to keep going, even when things get tough. And when you're resilient, you're able to overcome the challenges that inevitably come your way as you pursue your purpose. It's a cycle, each one reinforces the other, helping you to live a life that's full of meaning, fulfillment, and joy. Life is not always going to be easy. There will be times when you feel lost, when you feel like you're not making any progress. But those are the moments that build character. Those are the moments that teach you what you're truly capable of. And in those moments, it's important to remember why you started in the first place. Remember your purpose, remember what drives you, and keep pushing forward. You are stronger than you think, and you are capable of more than you know. If this video is helping you on your journey, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new content. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing that gives your life purpose? I'd love to hear from you. 5. The power of perspective and gratitude. Perspective is everything. How you see the world shapes your reality. The same situation can look completely different depending on the lens through which you view it. When challenges arise, you can either see them as setbacks or as opportunities for growth. The choice is always yours. And the way you choose to see the world will determine your happiness, your success, and your overall quality of life. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. There's a powerful truth that can completely change the way you experience life. Your thoughts create your reality. The way you think about your circumstances influences the way you feel and the actions you take. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, on what's missing, or on what's holding you back, that's exactly what you'll continue to see. But if you choose to focus on the positive, on the opportunities, and on the things you have to be grateful for, everything changes. The world becomes a little brighter, and the challenges become a little more manageable. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have to shift your perspective. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you start to see more of the good in your life. Even in difficult times, there is always something to be grateful for: a friend who supports you, a lesson learned, a moment of peace. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to see the beauty in the midst of the struggle. It's about recognizing that, despite everything, there is still good in the world. One of the biggest mistakes we make is comparing ourselves to others. It's so easy to look at someone else's life and feel like we're falling short. But here's the thing, you are on your own unique journey. You are exactly where you need to be. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing apples to oranges. It doesn't make sense because you're on different paths. Instead of looking at what others have or what they've achieved, focus on your own progress. Focus on how far you've come, on the things you've overcome, and on the growth you've experienced. Your journey is yours alone, and it's beautiful in its own way. Another way to shift your perspective is to embrace the idea that life is happening for you, not to you. It's easy to feel like a victim when things don't go as planned, but what if every challenge, every setback, was actually an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger? When you start to see life this way, everything changes. You begin to see challenges as gifts, as opportunities to become the person you're meant to be. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And let's talk about the power of letting go. So much of our suffering comes from holding on to things we can't control: past mistakes, the opinions of others, the need for everything to be perfect. But when you let go of those things, you free yourself. You make room for new possibilities, for new opportunities, and for new joy. Letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means trusting that everything will work out as it's meant to. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome and allowing life to unfold in its own way. Perspective is also about finding the lessons in every experience. Life is full of ups and downs, and every moment, good or bad, has something to teach us. When you face a setback, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" When you look for the lesson, you'll often find that even the most challenging experiences have something valuable to offer. They help you grow, they make you stronger, and they prepare you for what's to come. And then there's the power of gratitude in action. Gratitude is more than just a feeling, it's something you do. It's about actively looking for the good in your life, and it's about expressing appreciation for the people and the moments that make your life better. It could be as simple as sending a thank you message to a friend, taking a moment to appreciate the sunset, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. These small acts of gratitude can have a big impact on your mindset and on the way you experience life. Gratitude is also about being present. So often, we get caught up in the past or the future, in what could have been or what might be. But life is happening right now, in this moment. When you take the time to be present, to really appreciate where you are and what you have, you'll find that there is so much to be thankful for. The little moments, a smile from a stranger, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a loved one, these are the things that make life beautiful. When you're present, when you're fully engaged in the moment, you're able to experience the fullness of life. Another important aspect of perspective is understanding that you have the power to change your story. The way you talk to yourself, the way you think about your life, shapes your reality. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that you'll never succeed, that's the reality you'll create. But if you choose to tell yourself a different story, one of strength, resilience, and possibility, everything changes. You are the author of your own story, and you have the power to write it in a way that serves you. Life is full of challenges, but it's also full of beauty. It's all about where you choose to focus. You can focus on the difficulties, on the things that didn't go as planned, or you can focus on the lessons, the growth, and the opportunities. You can focus on what's missing, or you can focus on what's already here. The choice is always yours. And the more you choose to focus on the positive, the more you'll see it. The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll find to be grateful for. It's a cycle, and it all starts with your perspective. Let's also remember the importance of compassion, both for others and for ourselves. We all make mistakes, we all have moments when we fall short, and that's okay. Compassion is about understanding that we're all human, that we're all doing the best we can with what we have. When you show compassion to others, you create a space for connection, for understanding, and for growth. And when you show compassion to yourself, you give yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Perspective and gratitude go hand in hand. When you choose to see the good, when you choose to focus on what you're grateful for, you create a life that's full of meaning, joy, and purpose. It doesn't mean that life will always be easy, it won't. But it does mean that you'll have the tools you need to face whatever comes your way. You'll have the strength to keep going, the resilience to bounce back, and the perspective to see the beauty in every moment. Outro reminder: if you're enjoying this content and it's helping you on your journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing you're grateful for today? Let's share some positivity and inspire each other. 6. Embracing change and living authentically. As we come to the end of this journey, let's talk about embracing change and living authentically. Change is one of the only constants in life, and yet it's something that so many of us resist. We get comfortable, we settle into our routines, and we avoid anything that threatens to shake things up. But the truth is, change is what makes life exciting. It's what helps us grow, evolve, and become the best version of ourselves. When we embrace change, we open ourselves up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new possibilities. One of the most important things you can do is learn to be comfortable with discomfort. Change is rarely easy, it often comes with uncertainty, with fear, and with challenges. But those moments of discomfort are where the magic happens. They're the moments when we learn what we're capable of, when we discover strengths we never knew we had. If you want to grow, if you want to live a life that's full of meaning and purpose, you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. you have to be willing to embrace the unknown and trust that, no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Living authentically means being true to yourself, even when it's hard. It means listening to your own voice, following your own path, and making choices that align with who you are and what you believe in. Too often, we let the expectations of others dictate our choices. We do what we think we're supposed to do, rather than what we truly want to do. But living that way can leave you feeling unfulfilled, disconnected, and lost. To live authentically, you have to be willing to let go of the need to please everyone else and start living for yourself. It's about being honest with yourself about what you want, about what makes you happy, and about what you need. It's about letting go of the fear of judgment, the fear of rejection, and the fear of not being enough. Because the truth is, you are enough, just as you are. You don't need to change who you are to fit someone else's idea of who you should be. You are unique, and the world needs you to show up as your true self. When you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light for those around you, showing them that it's okay to be who they are. Embracing change also means letting go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes, that means letting go of relationships that are holding you back, of habits that are keeping you stuck, or of beliefs that are limiting your potential. It's not always easy, but it's necessary if you want to grow. Letting go is not about giving up, it's about making space for something better. It's about trusting that, by releasing what's no longer serving you, you're making room for new opportunities, for new growth, and for new joy. And let's not forget the importance of self-acceptance. Living authentically means accepting yourself, flaws and all. It means recognizing that you're not perfect, and that's okay. None of us are. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses, our quirks, and our imperfections. But those imperfections are what make us human. They're what make us unique. When you accept yourself fully, you free yourself from the need to be perfect, from the need to constantly prove yourself, and from the fear of not being enough. You give yourself permission to be exactly who you are, and that is a powerful thing. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the freedom to be who you are, without apology. To live authentically means to live without masks, without pretending, and without trying to be someone you're not. It means showing up as yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when it means standing out from the crowd. It's about being true to your values, your beliefs, and your passions, regardless of what others might think. Change can be scary, but it's also an opportunity. Every time you face a change, you have a choice. You can either resist it, or you can embrace it. You can see it as a threat, or you can see it as a chance to grow, to learn, and to become a better version of yourself. When you choose to embrace change, you choose to live with an open heart, with curiosity, and with a sense of adventure. You choose to see life as a journey, full of twists and turns, ups and downs, and endless possibilities. Living authentically also means being willing to take risks. It means being willing to follow your dreams, even when it's scary, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. It means trusting yourself enough to take that leap, to follow your heart, and to believe that you have what it takes to make your dreams a reality. The path to authenticity is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because at the end of the day, the only person you need to answer to is yourself. The only person who can decide what's right for you is you. And let's be real, living authentically doesn't mean that everything will always be perfect. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks, and there will be moments when you question yourself. But those moments are part of the journey. They're what make the victories that much sweeter, the growth that much more meaningful, and the journey that much more worthwhile. When you live authentically, you live with integrity, with purpose, and with a sense of fulfillment that can't be found any other way. As we wrap up, I want to remind you that change is a part of life. It's something we all go through, and it's something that can be both beautiful and challenging. But when you embrace change, when you choose to see it as an opportunity rather than a threat, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. And when you live authentically, when you choose to be true to yourself, you create a life that's full of meaning, joy, and purpose. You create a life that's uniquely yours, and that's something truly special. So as you move forward, I encourage you to embrace change, to live authentically, and to be true to yourself. Trust that you have everything you need within you to face whatever comes your way. Trust that you are enough, just as you are. And remember, the world needs you, the real you. Not the version of you that you think others want to see, but the true, authentic, imperfect, beautiful you. So go out there, be yourself, and live the life you were meant to live. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you found this content helpful, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one change you're ready to embrace in your life? Drop a comment below, and let's inspire each other to live authentically and embrace the beauty of change.